Hello everybody, Dr. Pam Popper here. I'm founder and executive director of Wellness Forum Health, and I am with Beth Perera today, who is a chapter leader for one of our subsidiaries that I just love called Operation Healthy Girlfriend. And so I'm going to interview Beth. I'm going to let her tell you why she decided to become a chapter leader and some of the really cool things that the group does. But I just want to tell you a little background about Operation Healthy Girlfriend. It was the brainchild of a colleague and friend of mine by the name of Dr. Lana Contos. And Dr. Contos shares many of my philosophies, which include that women are often in control of health. Who's buying the food, who's preparing the meals? I mean, it's not always true, but it's usually true. Who's making the doctor appointments for kids? I mean, it's usually women. Well, there's another so if you want to get to people in the household, you get to the woman, you get to other people. There's another thing too, and that is that women are great at organizing and banding together to get things done. And I always think of Margaret Thatcher's statement, which I often repeat: if you want something said, ask a man, and if you want something done, ask a woman. Better yet, even find a busy woman. Busy women get more things done than most other people. So Lana thought to herself, what if we got like 1 million American women together? I mean, 1 million would be a great number, right?
That would be a great number.
Yeah. And we decided we're going to band together, we're going to get our own health in order, get our family health in order, we're going to start attacking community health and all of the things revolving around that. And we really made a strong effort to help fix what's wrong with healthcare in America, which, my gosh, we could create 25 videos. Well, in fact, that's what I do on this YouTube channel every week.
That's what you do all the time.
That's what I do, talk about what's wrong with this miserable system. So anyway, we started last year, and we got a few chapters started, enough to know that this idea works, and so we're still doing it. We're going to do this in 2017. So anyway, let's just talk about a couple things. First of all, you came to Wellness Forum Health before Operation Healthy Girlfriend.
Yes.
So what made you come here in the first place?
So it's interesting. I grew up here. We're in Columbus, Ohio, and I grew up here in Columbus, but I lived away for 30-some years, and it was when I came to your conference, November of 2015. I think it was in the first 15 minutes in the opening remarks when you were talking about the big picture and everything that was going to go on here. I just said, oh my gosh, I have to move back to Columbus. So I moved back to Columbus. I joined Wellness Forum. I got involved in the wellness community here. And then you came to me and described what Operation Healthy Girlfriend was and asked me if I wanted to be a part of it. Like, yes,
Getting women together. Well, you're a born networker. I mean, this is the thing that you're born to do, right?
It's an amazing organization. I mean, how long do we have here? I can talk all day about Operation Healthy Girlfriend and you and Lana and such a power-packed team that you two make. So it's all about educating women on wellness, and when the women know how to get healthy, the families will get healthier, the communities will get healthier. That will expand to the state, the nation, the world. So educating women literally will change the world.
Well, and Malcolm Gladwell talks about that tipping point, the point in time where you get so many people on board with something that it just takes off like wildfire by its own, like it develops its own momentum. And I think that can happen. And I think that women banding together on this level will fix things a whole lot faster than a bunch of men talking about it in government. I don't think they're going to fix anything for us. I think we're just going to have to take the reins and do it ourselves. Yeah. So we support a great charity through Operation Healthy Girlfriend, one of the activities, and I love this. So talk about the backpack program.
The backpack program we support on a national level. So the Operation Healthy Girlfriend organization, Dr. Lana chose a charity organization very specifically that 100% of all the donations go to feeding hungry children. It's called the Feeding Hungry Children Backpack Program. So picture all the kids all over the United States who are involved in the free breakfast, free lunch programs at their schools. So this is great. They get breakfast and lunch at school. When they go home, they may not have anything to eat at home. We have a lot of hungry children right here in the United States. So what this backpack program does is solicits volunteers and food donations and monetary donations, and all the money, all the food gets very quietly, inconspicuously put into the children's backpacks on Friday afternoons at their schools. so that they have something to eat over the weekend. And in this big, wealthy country of ours, we don't think about all the kids right here at home that do not eat when they're not in school. And then the summer's a whole different ballgame, so we'll be tackling that. Some kids don't have regular meals all summer until they go back to school.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing charity. We're feeding hungry children right here in our communities. And one of our activities for the year is to plan a big, giant backpack program fundraiser. So who's not going to want to be a part of that?
Right. Well, one of the things that amazes me about hunger in general is that it has spread into suburban communities. Like, everybody thinks that, I live in a nice suburb and there aren't any hungry people here. But our office right here is in Worthington. I know the Kroger store collects money for the food bank right here in Worthington. And this is a pretty affluent place.
There's a couple schools right here in Worthington that have this backpack program, and it's very well. It's not a visible charity. It's very hush hush because they don't want the children or the families to be embarrassed. So it's just so well done. It's just so well done.
I know when Lana was explaining it to me, she related a couple letters that came from kids who literally said, "This is what I live on." Or I try to share it with my brother because we don't have food at home. Yeah. So, anyway, talk about some of the other activities that you guys do. I know you have fun because I hear you laughing in here sometimes when I'm just working here in the evening.
We have a blast. And we get together monthly on a scheduled basis. And of course, in the course of getting to know each other, a lot of us have become really good friends, and we get together outside of Operation Healthy Girlfriend stuff. We go hiking and skating and bowling and dancing and all kinds of stuff like that. But the official Operation Healthy Girlfriend activities involve monthly dinners or potlucks, wellness lessons. We're going to have, a lesson on breast cancer, a lesson on menopause, things that relate to women, children, families. And I just kind of pick the brains of our members and say, hey, what do you want to learn about? I happen to have taken several of your certifications courses. I'm a Food for Life instructor. So I have the background to be able to offer the education, and our chapter leaders, are very well versed in all this stuff. But we just have a great time. So I hate to say it's forced, but it's forced social and networking and girl time for the women in our organization, because we get so busy doing for everybody else, and we forget to schedule time for ourselves. So our monthly events are around 90 minutes long, so it's not a huge time commitment. It's a monthly date with yourself and your girlfriends.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and I think you're right about something, that if you don't schedule it in,
gotta schedule
I say this to myself all the time. I got to spend more time with my friends. I've got to, but you know what? Then I'll just sit and work. And if I have some place to go, I will go. But if I don't, I'm likely to just sit there and work until I'm tired. So
it's on the calendar every month.
Tell us about somebody who's had some health improvement through this whole thing.
So many. We have women who are breast cancer survivors. We have women who have lost a lot of weight. Two in particular. We have a mother-daughter duo in our chapter here in Columbus, and the daughter has lost around 80 pounds, and mom has lost, I want to say, between 100 and 120 pounds. She comes to hot yoga here at Wellness Forum. Just an amazing, it's like a different person. And every time mom walks through the offices, we kind of joke and say, oh my gosh, you're just getting skinnier and skinnier every time we see you. Mm-hmm. And they literally said, it's like, I've been given a new life. I feel so much better. I'm eating better. I have so much more energy. I got to buy a new wardrobe, new clothes. They're just so happy that this came into their lives. And it was Wellness Forum first, and then they joined Operation Healthy Girlfriend, so they're kind of getting a double dose of all this wellness information. And as you always like to say, just hang out with us. We're a great crowd to hang out with. And all this information rubs off on you.
And conversely, when you don't have a support system,
yes,
it's very difficult. And the reality is, whether you're male or female, a major problem I think everybody faces in trying to change their diet and their lifestyle habits is that we are alone. When I leave this building at night, mm-hmm. I have a handful of friends and one family member who takes care of themselves the way that I do. And then the rest of the time, I'm in a sea of people eating chicken and cheese, and you know, all the other habits.
Gosh.
And so, I mean, I have friends who smoke. It's almost astounding to say this, but I do have friends who smoke. And so, if I didn't have this, I'd have to. If I didn't work here, I'd have to come here. I'd have to join.
And I hear that from the women that they, you know, they're trying to eat healthier, but nobody else in their family is on board with this. And so they've been kind of looking, and you might have one friend in another town or another state, but this gives us the ability to come together locally, right here in our own communities. And we can do this all over the place. This is not just a Columbus thing. This is not just a Warren, Ohio thing where Dr. Lana lives. Guess what? We can do this everywhere.
Yeah. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is we're doing some more things service related. The backpack program has been so successful, and that's a wonderful thing. But tell us about some of the other things that you guys are going to be doing this year that are really cool.
This year we are launching a campaign to help just underprivileged families and underprivileged communities. So helping with education in those areas. And my gosh, you can contact the organization, you can contact individual chapter leaders, and we are happy to come to you. So it's not like you even have to go anywhere. We can come to you and do a presentation, do a class that will help your organization or your staff or your family or your community or your neighborhood. You know, just ask. We're available to go just about anywhere.
You know, one thing, about, I guess it was 5 or 6 years ago, I was involved with that project in Sacramento, the Sacramento Food Bank Project. And what was interesting about that is the patrons, the people we were working with, were patrons of the food bank, and often on public assistance in addition to that. And it came out great. These people wanted to lose weight, they wanted to get off their meds. And one of the reasons I love that project was because I am so sick and tired of people saying that people don't want to help themselves and they don't care about their health, they just want to eat crap, and that's absolutely not true. And so there are, just as you were talking about how many children don't have food insecurity, there are a lot of people who, believe me, would love to drive up here to Worthington to our beautiful office and become members and that sort of thing. They just can't afford it. So we're going to take this programming to them. And I think that is so important because
so important.
Yeah. And another thing, too, that's really cool about this, and I love this, everybody always says it's so expensive to eat well. You know what? It is not expensive to eat well. I mean, maybe if you want us to cook it for you, it can be. But really, we can show people with very limited means how to get so much more money out of their food dollar, which contributes to eroding a little bit that food insecurity that we were talking about earlier. So
some of the healthiest foods are the least expensive foods. Oats, beans, rice.
Much less expensive
in-season
than pork
vegetables.
chops.
If you have dirt anywhere around you, if you have a flower pot, you can grow some of your own food.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So yeah, that is a myth that eating well, eating healthy is more expensive. My food budget has plummeted in the 8 years I've been eating this way. 8 years. Yay!
All right, so tell everybody why they should start a chapter. Well, first of all, you have to be female. We'll probably be sued for this, but you can't start. I'm sorry, you guys. We'll start Operation Healthy Dude someday, but right now we have Operation Healthy Girlfriend. So why should a woman watching this start?
Oh my gosh, wherever you are living, think about having your own network, having your own social outlet that's all women who are on the same page, that you don't have to apologize for what you're eating. You don't have to apologize for what she's eating. You're together. You're on this journey together, and everybody starts in different places. We understand that, but together we're going to learn, we're going to teach more about wellness and optimal diet and moving your body and just getting healthy, and so that we can expand that out to our families and our communities. So wherever you live, you could live in a tiny town of a few hundred people, you could live in a huge metropolitan area. The cities, we can have dozens of chapter leaders in one city. Here in Columbus, we have 2 chapters right now, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just beginning. So wherever you are, wherever in the world you are, this is not limited to the United States. If you're in Europe, Asia, Southern Hemisphere, anywhere, pick a continent. Anywhere you are, you can be a chapter leader, and you just go to www.operationhealthygirlfriend.com and connect with Lana Contos, and she will give you a call and tell you what it's all about and how you get involved.
Yeah, that's it. It's fun. It's fun, and you do productive things, and you get healthy, and you meet new friends,
yes.
which is a fun part of
And
it.
chapter leaders, as a chapter leader, you're going to be the go-to person. You're going to be the organizer of the monthly events, and you solicit input from your members and your buddies. And I started, our chapter has about 35 women in it right now. I knew one of them when we started. One of them was a high school buddy, and we just kind of introduced acquaintances to this, and everybody else invited friends, and then they invited friends. And so now I have this whole network of women who I didn't know when I moved back here, and we just really click. It's so amazing. It's a safe haven to go, to have these like-minded, health-conscious women to hang out with. It's just a healthy place to be.
Well, thank you. And if you're interested, OperationHealthyGirlfriend.com, or you can always send me an email, pampopper@msn.com.